All right, you already know who it is. It's Father Moo in the big church. Listen to a little Star Trek patch from back in the day. Nice to see you all here. I know we've been backed off a little bit in this chill February in terms of how many uploads there's been, but I'm doing a ton of noisy work on fish.the. And I encourage you to check me out there if you want to hear some more and interact, ask questions, and so on. We had a couple people come over there who had seen stuff on the YouTube, ask questions, and it's even influenced my upcoming YouTube output to give the audience what it wants to hear. So I encourage you to come check that out if you're available. Just search Father_Moo on twitch.tv. But we're not doing that today, we're doing this, so let's do this. First of all, I need to call up a patch here. Today I had the idea for this patch about 1 minute ago, and as soon as I had it, I was like, that's great, that's brilliant, let's absolutely do that. I sort of couldn't believe I hadn't done it before. We've done quite a few techno tracks on this stream before, but what we haven't done before is drum and bass. So today we are doing drum and bass, and we're going to start with the minimal dub generator template that I created before. I ended up using this quite a lot more than I planned to, but and it's pretty much the only template that we got here. But it is what it is, and although it was designed for dub, we're gonna use it today to create the basic elements of drum and bass. So what was I looking for there? I was looking for my internal MIDI clock. You can see it's set to 75 for this template, and it's set independently of the template. 75 is way the heck too low. The minimum for drum and bass is 140. I think I'm going to go with 148 today, just to keep it at a good clip. And I'm going to do my normal here and delete some of these. Let's just delete these three bad boys here. And we'll use this 8-channel mixer as our mixer. And so once I had the idea and the tempo, I said to myself, what are we going to do to make the sound? Well, here's the plan for the sound. I'm going to try and use the first two note sequencers to create one bass line tone, and then in the third and fourth, I'm going to connect them to a different output and play a different bass line tone. And same thing with their associated channel 1 of the sequencer. And I'm going to make 3 drum synths, which are going to be kick, snare, and hat, not too surprisingly. And I'm probably going to make another row of sequencers like the ones up here at the top in order to play the 3 drum synths. So that will require some, especially the bass synth part, will require some repatching in the yellow cable area. So with that in mind, let's just move the drum synths over here because we're going to need a little bit more rail estate. We got rid of the compressor and a mixer, and we're now at 75% already used up. So we're going to have to keep this pretty simple. So here we have an oscillator B and a filter, and then we have a sine wave slave to him and an envelope, and then those are mixed together here with the crossfader. I think I can get rid of the crossfader. Well, that's kind of in the right direction, but I said I wanted to make 2 bass lines, which is true. So instead of using the slave FM, I'm going to use the standard sine wave oscillator, which I think is C. He's going to cost me 5%, but the slave FM was 3%, so it's pretty similar. So let's just disconnect this for now. So this is the extremely simple sine wave into AD of baseline number 1. Oh, why am I doing this? Because all this has to move down a bit. Because what I got to do, move you to the side. Side? There we go, side. I got to take these event sequencers, all 4 of them, and copy them directly. Because I'm going to need, I only get one channel of the first one for drums, so my kick and snare are going to need to be programmed. I can't do it with just, clocked random pattern generators. I need it to actually be programmed. Or that's the way I say that, but that's my choice, not something I really need, quote unquote. So I'm just trying to sort things out here so that they're all clear. You can see the pitch inputs of oscillator B1 being programmed here, but that's not necessarily so. I've left all the cables on so we can see where they are so that I know what I'm doing when I patch them together. I think I'm going to switch the sides here. So maybe it looks like I'm just playing with my Legos here, but if I don't get everything all organized, man, that's annoying reverb. Let's turn that off of my voice. My voice. Reverb down. Okay. Yeah, I mean, playing with the Legos is fun, but it also serves a purpose. Keep everything organized. If you don't, I know people look at the cables of modular synths and say they're, overwhelming. Or another guy told me he thinks cables look ugly, so he doesn't use modular synths. I've never heard that reason before. It's a new one on me, but I mean, make whatever judgment calls you want. I've always felt that the exterior design of my Eurorec synth, which is made of modules from a bunch of different manufacturers, so they're all different colors and styles, is very jarring to look at. Although I thought it was cool when I started, I somehow got put off of it. But whatever, that's the way it goes, I guess. Okay, so these are... So again, we're going to use 1 and 2 to feed the first baseline, and 3 and 4 to feed the second. So that means both the outputs of the event sequencers and the outputs of the note sequencers. So currently those are all mixed together into a single source here. Let's do one at a time. Let's do notes first. So notes are in blue. They're coming out of these 4 outputs there. You can see this one is 1, and this one is 2, and there's the output. And then this one is 3, and this one is 4, and there's the output. So before, all 4 of these fed into OSC B1. But now I'm going to take those first 2 and feed them into, you can't even see his name, but he's OSC C. He's the sine wave. So the pitch of the first 2 sequencers will be controlling him. And then we got to make sure the gates of the first 2 sequencers are controlling him. So there's 1. You can see him going down here. And there's 2. And then he outputs to here and is supposed to mix together with 3 and 4. So we'll remove his output and just plug 1 and 2 into his AD envelope. So this is sort of like opening the gate, letting the sound through, and we connect that to there. So that's it. We've got the pitch from sequencer 1 and 2 here. We've got the gate from event sequencer 1 and 2 here. That's all perfect. Let's do the same thing while we're at it. I just realized we're not going to need this module because his job was to mix the event sequencers together. So you can see this is the 1 and 2, so this is 3 and 4, and he'll open the gate for our second synth over here. And same thing for pitches. We had 1 and 2 there. So here's 3 and 4, and we feed them into, oops, I grabbed the whole thing. Take 3 and 4, there's their output, feed it into B1, and this one is still open all the way. It doesn't make a difference. We're not going to feed him anything. So, yeah. So if you haven't already guessed, the sine wave is going to be a deep booming sound without too much raspiness to it. Very smooth, very similar to an 808 kick, maybe, if you know that. And the other one, the sine wave, sorry, it's not a sine wave at all. It's probably going to be a sawtooth wave. It was set to triangle just as a default. But it's a sawtooth wave with a classic low-pass filter. We may get a little bit of... We may use a second envelope. In fact, I'm so sure that we will that I'll make another envelope for it with some settings, something like this. The attack is slower and the release is earlier. And then that will feed into the filter. We'll just keep that closed for now, but we'll need this envelope later. So that won't actually have any sound going through it, but we use the blue signal, the CV, to control the filter, to open the filter to go what kind of sound, like that. Funny thing, actually, when I make that sound of what, I'm doing something very similar to this, which is represented in the synth. There is a vocal filter, so our mouth does filter the buzziness of our vocal cords, and the shape of our mouth and our lips turns that into vowels. Or here, vowels, right, not consonants. But that's a story for another day. So we set it all up here. The bass line has been divided into two bass synths. That's something new for this channel. We've never seen that before here. And what about over here? Oh, this is the second channel of the event sequencers at the top. So that's going to be the kick drum out. So we can just leave that the way it is. We can delete this control mixer since we don't need him anymore. Save whatever modules we can. And now we're at 85.7%. We still have everything on the board here that we need. We got the 3 drum synths. Let's go ahead and wire up the remaining 2 drum synths while we have them. So you can see here, oh, something's not right. Oh, they don't have a clock connected. Okay, that's why. Let's just make a new module and delete it to allow them to reboot. So now you should be able to watch these green lines scurry across in time with the other green lines at the top here, because they're all doing the same thing. I think we can kill some of the cables to make it more readable. There we go. So like we said, these have been used up. This channel 1 is going to be the bass line. Channel 2 is the kick. So that means the kick out is here, and he's leading into this guy set to kick 1. So we can go ahead and connect. Oh, they haven't been done yet. Okay, so we need to do the same thing as this, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, and then all of them together, and we need to do that twice. Okay, so we did it twice, and we even got the patching of the third one done for us. They're all still set to OR. So this one, number 1 here, should be channel, I guess it's like sequencer channel 3. 3, or in other words, the top one. 3. And 3. And his output goes into snare. And you can see even these guys are arranged kick, snare, hat, same as everything is vertically aligned. And this should be channel 4, or the bottom of the sequencer. So there's 1, and there's 2, and there's 3, out, and there's 4. So, again, a ton of our resources here have been spent on sequencing. You'd think, wow, shouldn't they just automatically wire this together? Or like in Rebirth, or in even like a TB303, they already do all this stuff. They don't have to build a module for every little combining process. But the whole point of Modular is to give you that flexibility. So when you want to go and make a standard style sequencer, you end up burning through the bits that they made optional. In fact, if they built these into the sequencers. The sequencers themselves would be more expensive, and you'd be paying for that computing power when you didn't need it. So that wouldn't be super great. I got a couple more connections here. Oh, we got to get all the audio connected to the mixer. So here's our sine wave bass line. He doesn't have anything except an AD. I thought about putting a wave wrapper on him, but I think I'm going to skip that today. Let's go with my first thought, best thought. And the second bass line is here. You can see his red cables aligning there. We'll put him in channel 2. We'll put this kick in channel 3. And the snare in channel 4. And the cymbals in channel 5. Great, good. So that was pretty cool. Why don't we get a pattern going since it's been so quiet here? How am I going to do that here? I'm going to do that on the 5. I think so. I think I need to put the kick on the 1 and the snare on the 5 to make it fast enough to line up with the tempo that we chose. Okay. Good. So that's our snare drum. Let's do some bass. Horrible bass sound. Let's change it up. Something's double. Oh, yeah, okay. Take that out. I know it should be here. Cool. A little bit standard, but I'll fix bits of it later if I need to. Let's put in some hi-hats here. Already with a terrible sound, let's fix that first. Okay, it's coming along. Okay, take the decay down a bit. Cool, great. So let's dive into some bassline stuff now. Remember, our first two sequencers here are going to be sine wave. So for this one, I've selected mentally that we should start off with a G. Of course, we're going to be in E minor today for anybody keeping score at home. And then an A. And then it's holding on E. Okay. So I think I can go ahead and do that. Well, it doesn't sound like drum and bass yet, don't worry. I wish I could... okay, it's okay, let's keep going here. First, we're supposed to go way the heck down. Might be too low, but we'll find out. Okay. Hope you got your headphones on, as this one's deep. Whoa. That's unreal. Nice. So I don't really have a way to turn these all into a single note in the sequencer. Or maybe this. Is this it? That's it. But I don't really want to, that's not going to give it to me. Let's just do it this way that we did it. Let's do some undo here. There we go. So what I did was I dialed up my attack a bit so I don't get a bunch of clicks at the beginning. Although I kind of liked it like this. Listen. I like to have these machine gun notes on the 16th steps. But I think the world will prefer this. So I've got the decay up quite a bit, and it's the attack being rolled off that really prevents those clicks from coming in. Cool. So this part is still silent. This is our second bass line. Let's go ahead and come up with something. I think I'm going to stick just to this sequencer, have a bar of silence. It's probably going to start here. Let's just do it in minus notes and then do it an octave higher. I could go up to 10, but it's easier just to go down to 2. And the key is just getting the right note to start on. I think it should be here as well, 11 to minus 4. Okay, great. Which note did I start on? 4. So it's going to be a little annoying synth the first couple times. Just bear with it. Still not getting quite what I wanted. Hold on a sec. Yeah, that won't solve it. to turn this one down. Not quite getting there. Keep working on this here. Still got enough processing power for this, thank God. Getting weirder, but getting a little closer. I'm going to try something here with my remaining power, with my remaining processing power. Okay, that put me at 95%. I'm going to make another oscillator for this second synth in the hope of beefing up his sound a little bit. So there's this, I also need a 3-input mixer to go with him. And he will be only 1 octave down to provide a bit more depth. So there he goes into channel 2 of the mixer, and oscillator 1 goes into channel 1, and the mixer goes out into the filter. We're not using this anymore, so I'm going to delete that for now. Oh, I've just deleted it from the... Okay, we'll get there. Trying to tidy up the Legos. Oh no, Lego. There's no room for the Lego after all. Here, you go over here. There we go. Here we go. Let's see if we can do something with this. It needs to match the pitch. So I decided to use the idea that I accidentally came up with from the first one, which was not to smooth the notes together with the AD envelope, but to use the actual individual hits. Well, I think we can skip. Yeah, just skip 4. We skip this too. Sounds pretty cool, actually, now. Let's get some of the tweaks right here. Oh, you know what might actually help? I wasn't expecting to do this, but I've got the power. I've got a little bit of processing power left. Can you dig overdrive? Can you? We'll find out if you can. There we go. Now we're overdriving. pretty good. Doesn't need to be that loud, but it's still getting to be pretty good. There's that huge main bass line. Maybe these. Oh, here we go. I think I got it. There we go. Just 8 notes is all it needed. Let's close the filter down a bit. So it's like a Kraftwerky kind of thing. Good, there we go. The filter's getting it now. Cool. Okay, I think that's it for this drum and bass sequence. If I could do it again, and I don't have the processing power to do anything different here, I guess I would like to make the snare drum a bit more random, but the sequencers in this old Nord Modular don't offer a 10% probability knob like a modern one would. It's too bad, really. The way I would do it is, can I even? Let's just try. No. Oh, what if we kill the overdrive? Then we'll see what it's like. Well, now it's just too quiet. Okay, great. So here's how I do it, which I'm going to do right now. I would take the LFO that we call clocked pattern generator, pop him in there. He's just doing, random patterns. That's fine. Feed him with a random CV, so he's always changing. And then we take, this is a snare drum out. Where's the final snare drum out? That's there. Let's just remove that for a second. Well, that sounds weird, but okay. Then we take another logic processor, and we set it to OR. So one of the feeds is the standard programmed snare, and the other feed is the random pattern. So if there's a hit on a step which is not programmed, but comes out of the pattern generator, you get another little random snare. Hard to hear if it's any different. Oh, that's why, because it's not plugged into the clock. Sorry. There we go. Nope, almost. There we go. Wow, that's crazy. Let's try delta low, which means it won't deliver as many hits. I think we might have just messed up the tempo here a bit. Let's do this trick. Oh, I think I see the problem. Wait, no, that's not a problem. Maybe we should set this to here. No. Okay, either way, I think it's a bit much. I think I'm going to delete that. Yeah, well, I guess randomness was too much for it there. Or maybe I didn't have my settings proper. But, yeah, that was a good try. It was worth the try anyway. I think we'll leave the overdrive out because I don't think it's making a huge difference to the sound. It was the reduction of those last couple notes and making it more craftworky that seemed to help it more. Anyway, let's save this bad boy as we always do. Not going in 2023, it's going in 2024. And it's called... Wait. Drum and bass. And I'm not going to dwell on this too much, but I did have a friend of mine in the music world in Taiwan here who passed away yesterday. So I'm just going to shout out to fish.the. He was a good bro. Helped me out a couple times. Played a couple shows with him. He was a cool guy. And he got sick and he passed away. And I'm kind of bummed out about it. But I can't stop making music because that's what I do. That's all I know how to do. So here it is. This has been music with Father Moo in the drum and bass style. We need jungle. You know what I'm saying? We'll see you all in a future stream. Thank you for tuning in. It's a big church. We got room for you. See you on Twitch. Peace.